You've been name-dropping your entire life and probably didn't even know it. Because some of the most ordinary words we use every day, from food to fashion to tech, are actually named after real people. Not only inventors you learned about in school, but gamblers, war generals, misunderstood scientists, and a Viking with a questionable dental situation. But before we dive in, there's actually a word for this. When something is named after a person, it's called an eponym. And once you notice them, you start spotting eponyms everywhere. So let's do some people watching through language. John Montagu, 4th Earl of Sandwich. Legend says John Montagu, the 4th Earl of Sandwich, couldn't be bothered to leave the gambling table. So he ordered meat between 2 pieces of bread to eat without using utensils. His friends started asking for the same as sandwich, and the name stuck. He didn't invent the sandwich, he just turned laziness into a legacy. Captain Charles Boycott. In 1880s Ireland, Captain Charles Boycott was a land agent for an absentee landlord. When he tried to evict tenant farmers, the entire community iced him out. No workers, no services, no mail delivery. Newspapers ran with it, and boycotting entered the English language. Tough name to live down, honestly. Sometimes your name sticks because of bad press. Other times, it's all about style. Jules Leotard. French acrobat Jules Leotard flew through the air in a tight one-piece garment that showed off his, core strength. He was a 19th century superstar, and the outfit became a signature. Modern dancers and gymnasts still wear leotards. Jules would have loved TikTok. King Harald Bluetooth Gormsson. King Harald ruled Denmark in the 900s and managed something no one else could. He united warring tribes under one crown. He also had a dead tooth that looked blue, hence the nickname Bluetooth. 1,000 years later, engineers in the 1990s were building a wireless tech that could unite competing devices, phones, headsets, computers. One of them had just read a book about Viking history and thought, hey, King Bluetooth brought people together. That's exactly what we're doing. It started out as a code name, but like most nicknames, it stuck. And that little Bluetooth logo, it's not random. It's a mashup of Harald's initials, H and B, written in Viking runes. So next time your headphones connect automatically, think a medieval king with questionable dental hygiene. Etienne de Silhouette. Etienne de Silhouette was a French finance minister known for his brutal budget cuts. He became so unpopular, people started mocking cheap shadow portraits by calling them silhouettes, a jab at his stinginess. Imagine being dragged so hard your name becomes the symbol for cutting corners. Iconic. Samuel Maverick. Samuel Maverick was a Texas rancher in the 1800s who refused to brand his cattle. His unmarked cows wandered the plains and became known as Mavericks. The meaning of the word morphed into someone who does their own thing. Today, it's Tom Cruise, startups, and basketball team logos, all thanks to one stubborn Texas rancher. Jean Nicot. Jean Nicot was a French diplomat who introduced tobacco to France in the 1500s, believing it had healing properties. The plant and the addictive chemical inside it eventually took his name. Nicot probably thought he was saving lives. Today, his legacy is warning labels, the ultimate backfire. Robert Cobb. In 1930s Hollywood, Brown Derby restaurant owner Robert Cobb threw together a late-night mismatch of kitchen scraps. Lettuce, egg, bacon, avocado. It was a hit. The Cobb salad became a menu staple, and Cobb became the only guy who ever got famous for not going grocery shopping. James Brudenell, 7th Earl of Cardigan. During the Crimean War, British General James Brudenell, the 7th Earl of Cardigan, wore a knitted wool sweater that opened in the front. It caught on with his troops and eventually with civilians. Today, it's your favorite cozy lair and Taylor Swift's mid-tempo melancholy. From the Crimean War to Cardigan Core, that's a range. Rudolf Diesel. Rudolf Diesel created the compression ignition engine in the 1890s. Powerful, efficient, torquey, and still running today. His invention powers trucks, ships, and your uncle's annoyingly loud pickup. Sadly, Diesel disappeared at sea under mysterious circumstances, but his name lives on today at gas stations. Daniel Gabriel Fahrenheit. The guy who gave us the Fahrenheit scale also invented the mercury thermometer. He picked 32 degrees for freezing and 212 degrees for boiling because he wanted consistent intervals. But why those exact numbers? Honestly, science was just vibes back then. Europe moved on. The US said, nah, we're keeping this weird math forever. Louis Braille. At age 3, Louis Braille lost his eyesight in an accident. By 15, he developed a tactile reading and writing system that would become standard worldwide. More than just a name, Braille is one of the most important accessibility tools ever invented. Earl Tupper. Earl Tupper invented lightweight plastic containers in the 1940s. But it was his saleswoman, Brownie Wise, who built the Tupperware empire through at-home parties. Earl made the stuff, Brownie made it matter. Guess whose name is on the box? George Ohm, Alessandro Volta, James Watt. Electricity doesn't just light your room. It name drops scientists every time you flip a switch. George Ohm gave us resistance, how much a circuit pushes back. Alessandro Volta gave us voltage, the electrical pressure that makes current flow. And James Watt, well, he gave us watts, the measure of power that's doing the work. Together, they're basically the grammar of electricity. Every charger, light bulb, and outlet is quietly paying tribute to three guys from the 18th and 19th centuries. Dr. Joseph Ignace Guillotine. Dr. Joseph Ignace Guillotine didn't invent the guillotine and was actually against the death penalty. But during the French Revolution, he proposed it as a more humane form of execution. It was efficient and brutally effective. His name eventually became shorthand for the machine, much to his horror. Sylvester Graham. Sylvester Graham was a 19th century minister who believed bland food could curb sinful urges. He invented a whole grain cracker as part of his anti-pleasure diet. Today we use it for s'mores. The irony is delicious. So the next time you power up a Bluetooth device, eat a sandwich, or cozy up in a cardigan, just know you're name dropping some eccentric historical figures. Which one surprised you the most? Drop it in the comments. And if you want more videos like this, hit subscribe before your attention span pulls a Maverick and wanders off.